The news caused so much anxiety in his mind that he started at once for his native village. As soon as his aunt saw him, he exclaimed in delight, "My boy, I deem it my great luck that I shall be able to die in your presence." All his attempts to save her life were of no avail. Before she expired, she asked him whether all the inmates of her house had taken their meals. Even 15 minutes before her death, the old lady sitting on the veranda of the house was repeating the name of God, saying, "My time is up." She beckoned to him to come near her, and placing her hand upon his head, she blessed him, saying, "Let your mind always dwell in God." These were the last words the affectionate aunt spoke to him. She had been initiated in the Rama mantra, and her last breath came out with the sound Ra. Nagmahashaya heard it distinctly. Before this mishap, Nagmahashaya never knew what a bereavement was. He had no attachment to his wife and did not feel the loss of his first wife. His mother died in his infancy, but in his stead he found another mother in his aunt. Her unbounded love and affection for him never made him feel the loss of his mother. Now, that very aunt had left him forever. Oh, unbearable was the woe! Even to remain in that house became impossible for him. He used often to run to the spot where his aunt was cremated and pass the whole night there. Sometimes he would repair to a jungle and spend the silent hours of the night in solitude. Referring to this period, his sister Sarada remarked, "This incident drove my brother almost mad. He had to be urged often and often to take his bath and his meal. Sometimes I used to find him lying quite prostrate on the ground behind our house. So we had to get down our father from Calcutta." The funeral rites of the aunt being completed, he came back to Calcutta with his father. Time, the great healer. Assuage, no doubt, the intensity of his grief, but in its place another thought appeared on his mental horizon and raised a storm not less convulsive than the former grief. His mind began to be haunted day and night by the thoughts, why does man come into this world and why does he die? What becomes of him after death? What has become of my aunt? To what region has she been transferred? The aunt who would give up her life to spare me from even a scratch on my body is no longer paying heed to my heart-rending sorrows and cries. Well, if all relationship ceases with death, then why all this bother with I and mine? Oh, why have we strayed into this world of miseries and bondage? This vale of tears and woes? Having come here, what is the primary duty of life? How are we to free our agonizing soul from the grip of mortal life? Such questions began to agitate his mind constantly, and he was yet to find their solution. Though Nagmahashaya accepted fees from his patients, yet he himself would not demand anything from anyone. He gladly accepted whatever was offered to him out of love and gratitude, and so his practice began to increase day by day. He had no outward show in his profession. He would go mostly walking to his patients even at distant places. Once Deen Dayal got for him a suit of fine cloth, thinking that it would count much in increasing his practice. But the son had no idea of the kind, and he complained, "What need have I of this dress? You would have done a good thing had you spent the money in the service of the poor." Deen Dayal replied with a deep sigh, "I had great hopes in you, but alas, now I see it is doomed to frustration. You are about to become a mendicant." But that was not all. All his ways were strange and not befitting a man of the world.